Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Gonna do a real-time edit with this um, Eastern Kingbird. There we go, blanked on the name of that bird for a second there. Photographed this up in the New England area when I was photographing some common loons, and so I was actually paddling around on a kayak out on the lake and found this guy. And it was funny, it was like a full sun day and got really lucky with some clouds that just rolled in right when I kind of happened to be paddling by, and he landed on this awesome perch with the spider web and everything. So not much of a crop to do on this. In fact, I don't think there's anything to crop on this one. But I overexposed it a little bit, so let's bring it down like that. The head on this bird is actually black. I will kick the shadows up just to get a little bit more detail in there. Bring the blacks back down. Gonna do just a little bit of a soft radial, just darken on the outside, and then I'm gonna throw a graduated filter on here, darken the bottom, and also add contrast, and then actually pop the white so I can get that spider web showing just a little bit more. And maybe I'm a touch dark now, so let's lighten it up a little bit, bring the highlights down to get the detail back, warm the white balance up, less magenta, and that looks pretty good. So into Photoshop I go at this point. And so the main thing I'm going to try and do in Photoshop is really accentuate the spider web, get that standing out a little bit. I'm going to start with a clone layer, just kind of clean up some of these. Well, that was about it, that background spot there, that light one. So now I'm going to do a little burning, just kind of darken down the this lighter area back there. And just all these lighter areas, I just want to kind of darken them down, just even the background tone out just a little bit, so it's not quite so varied, so like bright and dark areas. I want it just more kind of even back there. So something like that, really trying to just get my attention drawn into the bird here. Lighten up the head just a little bit with those feathers, and then catch light, as always, make that stand out really nice so the eye pops really good. I'm gonna go back to this burn layer. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Back to this burn layer and just kind of darken up that top area there. A little too much. And that's pretty good. All right, so next I want to try and get this spider web to stand out a little bit more. So first thing I'm going to do is try a color range selection and see if I can get just the spider web to be selected there in some of these areas. I know it's not going to work everywhere, but there we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. Let me go a little bit less here and see. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, so we'll do that. I'm going to do a curves adjustment layer and really kind of just kick that up a little bit with the highlights. Bring the blacks back down. And I just want to paint it in some areas because I know it kind of gets a little funky down here because some of the background is selected as well. So some of these areas, though, should kind of handle it nicely. And let's see what that does. Yeah, it definitely makes it stand out. So yeah, this one area right here got a little bit too much bleed onto the background. So I'll try and select it again and see if I can go a little bit less. So it's just the spider web. See right there, it's starting to bleed into the background. So I'll just kind of back off that just a little bit so I don't see much of that getting picked up in there. And there we go. Now that's it. That's better. Now I can kind of paint that in a little bit more, make that stand out nice. I'm still seeing some like blue tones overall in the bark here and in the bird itself. So mainly it's kind of like mid-tone shadow. So let me just pull some of that yellow and a little bit of red out of that. I mean, pull the blue out is what I meant to say. So I went towards the yellow side, and then I'll just kind of paint that in here. Maybe a touch of green I'll add, and that seemed to clean up that color cast for me. And then one other thing is I'm just going to see if I can kind of green up that background where it's kind of more brown, just to kind of even that tone out, make it a little bit more interesting back there, less less brown in those areas. Yeah, it's not looking very natural, so I don't think I'm going to stick with that. I just wanted to see what it would look like if I painted it in. Yeah, I'm not liking it, so get rid of that. I'll try one other way. I'll just use a color layer here and paint some of that over. That's actually looking a little bit better. Don't think I like it in there, but I can do some in these areas. Just to kind of remove some of that gray, keep it a little bit more even toned. Yeah, that works. I think that's about it. Looking pretty good here, so let me get that saved, and then I'll hop back into Lightroom and just show you a quick comparison from the before and after. As always, I know I go through these videos very quickly, and so it may be hard to learn some of these techniques, but I do offer online classes and mentorships to learn exactly how to do this. So if you're interested in learning more of what I'm doing here, certainly get in touch. Just hit my website, rayhennessy.com, and get in touch with me. You can always just shoot an email or get in touch with me on social media, and we can talk about different ways to do that. So here we go. There's our total beginning, total after. So not a huge major change, but definitely made it better. See, the bird stands out a lot more. Spiderweb stands out a little bit more there. And overall background is just less distracting. So thanks so much for watching, and hope you learned something on this one.